everyone, it's Jego Reyes for CNN Philippines 10, where we break down major stories from here and abroad into bite-sized facts in 10 minutes. First and foremost, the local economy. The International Monetary Fund or IMF expects faster economic growth for the Philippines this year. The IMF now projects a 6% expansion for Manila, up from its prior 5% forecast. The latest estimate comes despite an expected slump in the global economy due to the recent banking sector issues and lingering problems like soaring inflation and shocks from the COVID-19 pandemic. And in relation to this, President Bongbong Marcos' economic team invited U.S. businessmen to invest in his mammoth 9 trillion peso infrastructure program. The largest ever balikatan between the Philippines and the United States has formally begun, and it features many firsts. Aside from having a record number of participants, 17,000 who are mostly from the US, this is also the first time both nations will hold joint drills on cyber defense. Combined Philippine and US weapon systems will blow up and sink a decommissioned Philippine Navy ship. The usually land-based live-fire exercise is also moving towards the sea. A Philippine military official confirmed that President Marcos has been invited to this exercise in Zambales, scheduled later this month. If things work out, this will be the first time for a sitting president to personally witness such a joint military activity between two nations. Good news for Meralco customers. Expect lower electricity bills this month. The power distributor cut the electricity rate by over 11 centavos per kilowatt hour. Households consuming 200 kilowatt hours will see a reduction of around 24 pesos in their bills. Meralco said the decline in power rates was due to lower generation charge. Have you seen the fascinating photo of the Milky Way over Mount Samat National Shrine in Bataan? Photographer Anthony Moncal says this is his dream shot. So he went to the shrine at 1 in the morning on April 2nd when he found out that the Milky Way can be seen until 2 hours later. The Memorial Shrine Complex was built to commemorate Filipino and American soldiers who fought against the Japanese Imperial Army during the Second World War. With many expected to travel this summer, there's a website that's making a trend online for helping you in your travel bucket list. Some netizens posted their Philippine travel level, which shows the country's map and the provinces you have visited so far. You'll get a higher score if you lived in the area or stayed there instead of just passing by. Among those who tried this is former Vice President Leni Robredo, who left many amazed. Her level reached 315 because she's been to all the provinces. Updates from Buckingham Palace. More details were revealed on the coronation of King Charles III. He and Queen Consort Camilla Parker Bowles will ride the Diamond Jubilee State Couch going to the Westminster Abbey. From there, they will join the coronation procession aboard the Gold State Couch that was used in all British royalty coronations from King William IV in 1831. A royal regalia will also be used for the coronation, including the imperial state crown that's only used in ceremonial events. King Charles will exchange this to the St. Edward's crown at the end of the ceremony. Good news for train commuters. At least for now, there will be no fare hikes at the LRT Lines 1 and 2. The President deferred the implementation of a fare increase and ordered to carefully study it first.
The reasonableness of the fare rates being requested was likewise determined by being comparable with other modes of road transportation. It will have the least effect on the riding public's commuting expenses and in consideration of the current economic condition of the country.
The MRT3 also has a pending fare hike petition but has yet to comply with all the requirements to grant its request. Over at the construction of San Miguel Corporation's MRT7, Transportation Secretary Jaime Bautista says the rail line is expected to be completed by the middle of 2025. It will have 14 stations from San Jose del Monte in Bulacan to North Avenue in Quezon City. 4 stations in Quezon City are expected to be finished in June. The Transportation Department earlier said that the project is 60% complete. A win for the LGBTQ plus community. TV host and actress Khaled Karen made history in the Metro Manila Film Festival or MMFF as the first trans woman to be hailed as Best Supporting Actress. Khaled Karen clinched the award for her role in the comedy flick Here Comes the Groom, which took the third Best Picture award. She says this historical win does not only recognize her hard work in the film, but her existence as a woman. June Robles Lanas, About Us But Not About Us, won the Best Picture and other major awards at the summer MMFF. Golden Globe and BAFTA nominee Dolly De Leon led the panel of jury for this edition of the festival. Speaking of Dolly, the Triangle of Sadness star will be awarded by the Film Development Council of the Philippines, along with veteran actor Soliman Cruz and filmmaker Martika Escobar. They will be given the Annual Achievement Award for their invaluable contribution to local film industry. Ready to go back to Neverland? The official trailer for the live-action reimagining of the 1953 animated classic Peter Pan has been released. Among the cast are Jude Law as Captain Hook, Yara Shahidi, who's the first black actor to play Tinkerbell, and Alexander Maloney as Peter Pan. While the summer season brings fun and relaxation to many of us, it also brings with it intense UV rays that can be harmful to our skin. That's why it's important to know how to deal with summer skin diseases and maintain healthy skin.
Ang mga Filipinos would usually have brown skin, ano? We are considered to have a skin of color. So usually Filipinos have more brown pigment in their skin compared to other individuals from Western countries. So usually the phototype will be on the 3 to 4 phototype. But some Filipinos would have also lighter skin and some Filipinos would also have darker skin. But in general, we are brown skin. And this brown skin is usually protective of UV rays because the more pigment, the more there is a scattering effect or protective effect from UV rays. Although Filipinos in general are protected from skin cancer because they have brown skin cancer still occurs in Filipinos. We still have basal cell carcinomas, squamous cell carcinomas. Our farmers, our workers who are exposed to the sun, specifically MMDA, mga nagtatrabaho sa kalsada, mas mataas yung risk nila for skin cancer still.
In sports, it's a resurgence in Philippine boxing as the country gets a new world champion. Marlon Tapales stuns Uzbekistan's Murodjon Akhmadaliev by split decision to capture the unified WBA and IBF Super Bantamweight titles in San Antonio, Texas in the US. Tapales improves his record to 37 wins and 3 losses with 90 knockouts as he wins his 4th straight match. The Filipino fighter also snaps the Uzbek's 11-fight win streak. Tapales becomes the country's 2nd boxing world champion after current WBO mini flyweight king Melvin Jerusalem. The Philippine women's football team qualifies for the 2nd round of 2024 Asian Football Confederation Olympic qualifying tournament. Filipinas finished the first round with a clean sweep and dominated Group E.
Just shows how much we've improved, but ultimately a lot of parts of the game were very good, but our finishing has to be a little bit better to compete with the big nations in Asia. So we've done well, we've improved a lot, but there's still a lot of hard work to do.
It was just a good performance from us. I think from the beginning we dominated. Coach is kind of talking about being ruthless, and we're trying to take advantage of not just beating teams, but making our stamp, making a stance, and I think we did that today. So really proud of the team, really proud of the staff, and just really happy to move on to the next round.
Meanwhile, the Philippine women's softball team, better known as the RP Blue Girls, qualified for the 2024 Women's Softball World Cup. They recently finished 4th in the Asia Cup in South Korea. They are in Group C of the World Cup and will face higher-ranked teams in the group stage, which happens from July 11 to 26 later this year. And the Blue Girls say they need more international exposure and support as they prepare for their next big assignment. And now for a 10-second trivia. What is the world's largest organism? The blue whale, colossal squid, honey mushroom, or the sequoia tree? The largest living thing on Earth is the honey mushroom. It is a fungus also known as Armillaria austriae, which spans 2,200 acres across Oregon in the US. Its large coverage area gave it the said title, while also being considered as the oldest living thing on Earth. And that's it for CNN Philippines 10. I am Diego Reyes, giving you news you can use, news you can trust in 10 minutes. Thanks for joining me today, and see you again next time.